Hey everyone, imagine walking through a building and feeling like you're in a symphony. Sounds fascinating, right? Today I'm going to talk about how music isn't just something we listen to, but a powerful design tool in architecture. Let's dive into the symphony of architecture. First up, let's talk about shared foundations, geometry and proportion. Just like music is structured through time signatures, scales and rhythms, architecture is governed by geometry, symmetry and proportion. Think about the harmonic proportions in Greek temples or Gothic cathedrals. They used musical ratios to create a sense of order and balance. Even Le Corbusier's modular system was influenced by the golden ratio in musical scales, aiming for harmony between human scale and spatial design. Next, rhythm and repetition in spatial experience. In music, rhythm is created through the repetition and variation of beats. Similarly, in architecture, rhythm manifests through the repetition of structural elements, columns, windows, lights, and textures. These elements guide movement and perception across space, much like how musical phrasing guides listeners through a composition. Architects like Stephen Holl and Daniel Libeskind have explored this beautifully. Holl's Chapel of St. Ignatius in Seattle, for instance, orchestrates natural light as if conducting a symphony, each room representing a liquid light element that parallels musical motifs. Moving on to spatial acoustics and atmosphere, the acoustic properties of space are a direct bridge between music and architecture. Concert halls, temples, mosques and churches throughout history, think the Pantheon in Rome or the Sydney Opera House, demonstrate careful attention to sound behavior in space. Beyond performance spaces, ambient sounds in an environment can inform architectural choices. Designing with an ear to sound involves selecting materials that absorb, reflect or diffuse sound waves, shaping a user's auditory experience. Architects like Peter Zumthor emphasize the atmosphere of architecture, often drawing parallels to musical silence, crescendo and resonance. Then there's emotional and psychological resonance. Just as music evokes emotional responses, joy, nostalgia, tension, architectural space can trigger similar feelings. This emotional choreography can be informed by musical techniques, transitions, layering, crescendo or contrast. Take Jean Nouvel's Philharmonie de Paris, for example. Architectural elements unfold like a musical score, revealing transitions between open and intimate spaces, using materiality and light like tonal shifts in music. In the digital era, we have generative and computational design. Architects use parametric tools to translate musical data into spatial forms. Software can convert musical frequencies or MIDI inputs into 3D geometry, creating structures composed from actual musical pieces. Projects like Michael Hansmeyer's computational columns demonstrate the potential of algorithmic design rooted in musical patterns and logic. Finally, music in urban design and placemaking. In urban contexts, music activates public spaces and defines their character. Sound walks, street musicians, and musical installations help architects consider not just the visual identity of a space, but its sound identity, how it resonates with its people and surroundings. In conclusion, music and architecture are unified by their capacity to move, to order, and to inspire. By embracing the symphonic nature of space, architects can craft environments that are not only visually compelling, but also rhythmically alive and emotionally resonant. As Goethe famously said, architecture is frozen music. Perhaps now we're learning to thaw it. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you next time.